Okay, give me just a moment because I'll have to quiet the tab. It gives us a lovely little grace period. There we go. Hi and welcome everybody. I am Barb Focus and I'm with Bea Group here to present our next showcase about generative AI, that's artificial intelligence. I just want to say a few things first. We do this summer apprenticeship in partnership with our district partners, that is Downey Unified, Glendale Unified, and Davis Joint Unified. And we have with us today, actually, I'm going to stop sharing because I'd like to introduce her. We have with us today our partner from Glendale Unified, Kristen Milano. Dr. Milano, will you please maybe say hi?
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here today to watch all of the work that you've done throughout your summer internship. I really hope you enjoyed it. We've been working with Bea for years now, and they always do a wonderful job with our students. So enjoy yourself as you're presenting. And after this, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer.
All right. Thank you so much, Kristen. It is great to have you here. And now I'm going to pass it off to our deep dive lead, Kwaku, who's going to run you through the showcase of our generative artificial intelligence apprenticeship team. Take it away.
Barb, thank you so much. I'm going to really, and all the apprentices know that I tend to prattle on, so I'm going to try really hard not to do this because I'm so excited for them to share all the amazing work that they've done over the past few weeks. So let's kick things off with two of our more soft-spoken apprentices. That is Abner Hassan and Alan Morales. I'm handing it off to you, fellas.
All right, so Alan is going to share the screen. Okay. Hello, welcome to our demo for the Motivational Language Coach app. My name is Abner.
My name's Alan.
Who we are. I'm Abner Hassan, a person with high interest in new and exciting technologies, specifically how medical professionals can use technologies to help patients.
I'm Alan Morales, and I'm interested in learning more about AI and how it can be used and what it can be used for. One reason why I wanted to create what we created was because we could use AI to help, because I wanted to use AI to help me better communicate to family members that only spoke one language, and I didn't really know that language.
So in our design process, we used Mural, and in this process, we first decided on an open-ended question. The open-ended question we fell upon was, what is the best method to learn a language consistently? Now, we wanted this because, for example, I heard some research about Alzheimer's disease that stated that learning languages can help prevent Alzheimer's disease and other cognitive deficiencies. After we made our open-ended question, we decided that the best way to answer that question was our AI product, the Motivational Language Coach. This is a coach, not a teacher, so it is more designed to keep you motivated to learn a language and master it rather than teach you from scratch. To get more creative ideas, we used 4 constraints, and then we created 4 solutions to solve those constraints. And moving on to our golden circle, we answered some questions about why someone would use our product, how someone would use our product, and what someone would use our product for. This allowed us to reframe and implement our final solution. In our mural, we also have our journey of our design process. So right here, we have a screenshot of the amount of references we have. Right here, we have 69 references. And then over here, we can see that we added up to 104 different references. This allows our AI product to be more accurate. Right here is one of the limitations early on. We asked it like, what does it offer? And it's offering French, Italian, and German when it only had Spanish at the time. We were focusing on one language, yet it offered more languages. And this was a limitation. This is an example of our interactive diary to practice writing. We have correction, so people don't stagnate with their language skill, and they can improve on the things that they improve on their mistakes. Sorry. Adaptive learning, when someone gets correct answers repeatedly, the difficulty increases, and when people get the answers wrong repeatedly, the difficulty decreases. This is so the AI matches to where your skill level is and you don't get demotivated. Right here, the AI was making mistakes in Spanish, and this prompted us to actually add the references I mentioned earlier. This is our 2 screenshots of our workflow. At the beginning, we didn't have that many details and the AI was not as complex, but over time we added more and more words, and we added some specifically we added 3 different things the AI can do. The first thing the AI can do is question games. Secondly, interactive diary. And third, media suggestions. Now, Alan will showcase the question games.
So I'll be leading through the demo of our app, the Motivational Coach for Learning Languages. So it'll ask us if we're ready to start. We just click the button. We just type in yes. Now it'll introduce itself as coach, and it'll tell us that it can only teach Spanish at the time. And this was because we wanted to make sure it would get everything correct. So once we're ready to begin, we just type in yes. And it'll give us 3 activities, which we can do: quests and games, interactive diary, and media suggestions. Due to time, I'll only be demoing quests and games, but I want to detail the other 2 options, interactive diary and media suggestions. Interactive diary asks you questions about your day in which you're supposed to respond to Spanish so you can use that language and practice writing and spelling. Media suggestions gives you books, movies, shows, music based on genres you like, such as action. So if you wanted like an action book in Spanish, you can ask it, can you prompt me action books in Spanish? It'll give you some suggestions and how you can find those books, like at a library, Amazon, something like that. So once you're ready to do quests and games, we just type in games. And so it'll give us a sentence with a word in quotation marks. It wants us to translate that word in quotation marks into the language, which is English. So it wants us to translate cama, which is bed, into English. So now if we get it correct, it'll give us 1 point, and it wants us to get a total of 5 points. So it unlocks the entire story. So now we'll translate, it wants us to translate the word in quotation marks, come, from Spanish to English, which is eats. So now it'll give us another point. La niña lee un libro. It wants us to translate lee from Spanish to English, reads. It'll give us another point. Los niños juegan en el parque. It wants us to translate juegan from Spanish to English. That's play. And the next sentence, ellos corren rápido. It wants us to translate corren from Spanish to English. But I'm going to demo what happens if you get one wrong. So let's put walked. So it'll correct us and it won't give us another point, and it'll give us a new sentence where we have to translate that word, bria, from Spanish to English. I'm not sure in this case, so I'm going to type I'm not sure. And it'll give us what that word is. So now it'll give us a sentence that we have to translate from Spanish to English. Brian, and it gave us that shines. Actually, so I got it wrong. And now it'll give us the entire story. So once we're done with that, it depending on if we want to continue, it'll increase or decrease our difficulty based on how we did answering the questions. So now, if there are any questions.
So Alan and Abner, I think, unfortunately, because of the amount of time that we have for this presentation, I'm not sure if we'll be able to do questions now. But I
That's
know
understandable.
I'm speaking for the people who are viewing it in the Zoom and the people who might be viewing it on YouTube. I am really, really impressed with your thoughtfulness and your design chops to sort of continue to develop your idea from the initial thing to where you landed. And selfishly, I'm going to be using this to bone up on my Spanish. So thank you guys so much for presenting. You did an excellent job.
Thank you for
Look at
listening
that.
to our presentation.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. All right. So really quickly, next up, we have Garrison and Nicholas. So once again, I'm just going to hand it to you guys and feel free to take it away.
All right. Hello, my name is Nicholas, and this is my partner Garrison. And today we'll be presenting our AI educational tool that we made.
So just a quick about us. Hi, I'm Garrison. I'm a student at Crescenta Valley High School, which is in Glendale Unified School District. And I signed up for this deep dive because I have a very strong interest in artificial intelligence and technology. And I also have a 2-year background in computer science at my school, having taken AP Computer Science and honors software development.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Espinoza. I am a student at Downey High School, and I have experience in game programming and development from classes that I've taken in my high school, as well as a keen interest in software engineering from a competition that I enrolled in, Skills USA, for about 3 years.
So just to kind of set the stage for why we decided to create this educational app, we noticed that there are many educational opportunities that they're kind of there's a barrier to entry that's based off like financial status or disposable income. And this means that a lot of families just don't have the amount of money to be involved in these programs or opportunities. So for example, this could be something such as a college counselor, a college advisor, maybe someone that helps write your essays, or an SAT tutor. So for example, when I was studying for the SAT, my family and I were looking for tutors, and we saw that many of them costed upwards of $300 or more per hour, which is just ridiculous and is something that families shouldn't have to factor in for monthly costs. So to visualize this even more, on the right, you can see there's a graph. And if you're going to look for a full-time private tutor, at the best cost you're going to find is around $4,000 per month, which again is just ridiculous and is something families shouldn't have to burden when they're just trying to find a better education for their children. So, because of this and the fact that we believe education is an opportunity that should be free to all, we created an AI app that would help circumvent this educational disparity by providing free educational services.
Right here we have a link to our mural board, which shows our whole design and planning process. So if you can zoom into our open-ended question, you can see that our open-ended question was, how can we provide free educational services to students? Free educational services to students. And so if we can pan to our 4 solutions, we came up with 4 solutions to battle this question. One of them being peer volunteering, which was our in-person solution, but we felt that this didn't really implement any kind of AI into the actual solution. So we decided to pan off from that. And our first solution that we engaged in was chatbot providing services. And so what this was that we were going to use an AI API to help us create a website and handle user response. However, due to the API costing a good sum of money to use and implement, we had to abandon this idea. And so we went to our next solution, which was to create an educational game. And so we were going to use the platform, the game engine Unity to create this game. And the premise was that we were going to use AI chatbots such as ChatGPT to help us create code and assets for the game, as well as a basic version of an AI in the game itself that would increase the level of difficulty based on in certain educational subjects. So like adaptive learning. But due to time constraints, we couldn't go on with this idea either. Making a game within 2 weeks is a very difficult challenge. So we had to abandon this idea. And so we came to our final solution, which was creating a PlayLab app. And so as you can see on the right with our image, you can see our workflow, which is essentially what the PlayLab app goes off of in order to teach the user certain subjects. So as you can see for step one, we have first ask the student what subject they would like to focus on. Let them choose from math, science, English, standardized tests, or other languages. And so step two goes on further within the teaching process, as well as step three. And so now we can transition to a demo of our PlayLab app that will be taught by my partner Garrison.
Okay, so taking us to the PlayLab app, you can start, and it'll have a bunch of broad subjects that will ask you to focus on. And something that's very cool that we realized is that if you respond in another language, it'll reciprocate that in the same language. So if I respond in Spanish, it will also respond in Spanish. So let's say I want to learn math today and I'm a Spanish speaker, and we can focus on something such as calculus. And it'll go to several important topics like calculus, as you can see here. And for example, maybe I want to work on derivatives today. So what it'll basically do is give a little brief explanation of what a derivative is. It'll go through some steps on how to solve it and some examples. And lastly, it'll ask if you want a quiz. So I'll just go over in English one more time. So it'll go over it in English. And again, it goes through how to find derivatives, and I'll find an example. And if you want a quiz, it'll ask you a few questions. And it'll also score you. So, and check your answer. So for the first one, the answer would be 3x squared. So you can input this and it'll correct you. And if you finish all of them, you'll get a score and it'll display the score. So essentially, we have an app that can provide a bunch of educational content. Again, at the top, you can see there's a lot of topics that you can cover. It can cover almost any language. It can cover the ACT, SAT, and AP tests. Again, and it's all for free, which is really important, which is something we really wanted to focus on. And not only is it free, it's available 24/7. So unlike a tutor, you don't have to plan meetings. You don't have to plan Zoom meetings or meeting spots. You can just open up this app and have this whenever you need and whenever you want. And again, it breaks the language barrier, which most tutors can't do, all for a very, very free cost. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Nicholas and Garrison. And I want to give you guys a special shout out on your emphasis around equity and education. It's brilliant. It's something that I feel like all the educators on this call are constantly dealing with. And I love that you guys recognize this as a need at such a young age. Amazing job. And I'm going to keep it moving because we've limited time and I shouldn't be talking this much. So next up will be Diana and Jace. Take it away, guys.
So our app is the interactive math tutor, which is built to help high school students throughout their math classes and their journey. So yeah. So before we get started, I'd like to introduce ourselves. My name is Diana, and I am a rising senior at Warren High School. And I chose this deep dive because I became really fascinated and by how much AI became evolved in our lives and how much support it has provided for different industries and businesses.
Hi, I'm Jay Swang, and I'm also a rising senior at Davis Senior High School. And I became interested in AI after seeing how popular it had become. So I chose this deep dive too.
Okay, so next up, Jace will explain our mural.
Okay, so this was a design process. Our AI product is a math helper. On the right is the golden circle. In our deep dive, we learned that all successful companies uh use the golden circle. So basically, the why in the golden circle is like their vision, and our why is to improve education and performance. Our how is using an AI, and our what is like the end result. So ours is it creates more opportunities and it makes learning easy and engaging. So our four potential solutions to this math helper, um, we wanted to make it a peer math tutor so you could share your questions and fellow peers and other experts can help you with those problems. We wanted to make it multilingual so it could understand a variety of languages and different symbols used by different countries. This would like increase our audience and make it more like used by a variety of people. And we wanted to gamify it so it would have rewards for completing problems on XP system, puzzles, mini games, leaderboards, and we wanted to make it interactive so that it tracks progress and it like adjusts the difficulty of the problems with the user's knowledge. And so our final solution is to create an AI math tutor that tracks progress, provides step-by-step solutions, has an XP system with rewards for completing the problems, and it can post problems and receive feedback from other people.
Okay. So with that said, I clicked the link. I'm going to be able to show the app. So we did this on PlayLab, and at the beginning, I wrote small steps to like it was very like a whole paragraph of our final solution. And once I inputted a problem from one of my classes, which is pretty like complex, it didn't give me enough steps. So that's when I had to input a couple of references and input more steps and be able to make it more accurate since with AI, it's not really helpful or accurate with math nowadays, since it's not really familiar with the formulas or anything. And so basically, once I inputted the references and was able to input a different and simpler problem, it was able to give me more steps that was able to break it down and actually give me an accurate answer. And so with that, I'm gonna go and provide a demo. So if it's asking me to get started, I will say yes. And so it's asking me what kind of topic I would want to work on, and I would say, okay. Let's see, I'll do trig and uh, I'll input a simple problem, which is, and can you help me find the cosine of 75, which is pretty simple. And yeah, it gives me the formulas and a step-by-step on how to find it. And yeah, it's a lot. And it gives me this like a formula, and I'll say that's not what I expected. So maybe I'll ask it, can you give it to me in decimal form since it's more simpler. And with that said, that is the correct answer, which I have it right here. So yeah, with this, it makes math more accessible and easier to learn, and which makes it really enjoyable because the easier you understand it, the easier it gets, and it provides a better explanation than other apps since other apps are not able to provide enough explanations and experts sometimes don't reach out in time. So with this, it makes it easier. And that is it. Thank you.
Diana and Jace, thank you guys. So there's a couple things. I'm watching this and I'm like, man, I took these math classes and I have no idea what you're doing. So thank God you're building a program like this. And more to the point, I love the fact that you are addressing something that you see as a challenge to you as a student. And so you're really speaking from your own pain points and then thinking of a way to share that solution out with other people, which I think is fantastic. So thank you guys so much for sharing. That is amazing. All right, we're going to keep going. Next up, we have Abner D, or Abner Donato. I'm going to say your full name, and Melody. So I'm going to hand it off to you guys. Take it away, please.
Okay, so welcome to our presentation. This is our app. It's called Healthcare Support. My name is Melody and my partner is Abner. So then who we are. I'm a rising senior at Warren High School, and I chose this deep dive because I'm planning on pursuing a career in computer science. So I really wanted to do this deep dive. It was my first choice because AI is pretty big in today's market and I wanted to learn more about it.
And I'm Amber Donado. I'm also an incoming senior at Warren High School, and I'm planning on pursuing a career in kinesiology. But I chose this deep dive because I've always been interested in technology, and I've always wanted to learn a little more about AI. So that's why I chose this deep dive.
So Abner will be going through our design process on Mural. So there we go.
Thank you. So our AI product is a healthcare support, and our open-ended question is, how do we help underrepresented communities get access to healthcare using AI? And so our four potential solutions were remote consults, making sure that AI can translate with communicating, reduce
Hey guys,
biases.
Abner,
Yes.
I hate to interrupt, but we aren't seeing your screen, so maybe you should reshare it.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Is it good?
Yes, we can see it now. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Great. Let me pick up where I was. Reduce biases. We wrote AI algorithms designed to minimize biases, and early intervention predicts potential health issues before they become severe. And so with the app with this design process that we had, we were our final solution. The app we created, we were able to get a little bit of all of that into the app. So our golden circle, or where it says final solution, it's just a paragraph for the summarized version of everything I just explained for four potential solutions. And then our golden circle was what many patients from underrepresented communities lack access to healthcare services. How providing remote and communication solutions through AI, as well as more inclusive algorithm and a virtual AI health assistant. And our why, my partner Melody volunteers in a healthcare institute. And so she said that she knows patients had lack of transportation methods, and that we thought that a chatbot would really help not just the patients that she had observed, but also underrepresented communities that may not have access to healthcare.
Yeah, and then as you can see, our first demo started really basic and it was just really simple and straightforward, but we ended up getting our final product because we just kept making it more specific to the point where the chatbot could really assist. So then, one second, I'll be going through the actual bot, the actual app. So it'll start off pretty simple and straightforward. It'll ask you if you're ready to start and you'll just say yes. And then it asks you for your name, age, and any pre-existing conditions the user may have. And then it'll ask how we can help you today, and then what services you would like. I would say a consult, and I can just say my symptoms are runny nose, fever, and feeling. So then, there you go. And then how long have I been experiencing that? It'll ask the user how long, and then you can just say 3 days or how long. And then it'll just provide the user with ways how to treat it. And if it's any serious health issue, it'll just refer you to a healthcare institution. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. And yeah. Sorry. So there you go. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melody and Abner. I love that you both took your interest in AI and computer science and technology in general and applied it to something like some of the things we've seen so far have been kind of personalized to things that students deal with. And I love how you guys started to broaden this out to something that we all deal with, like healthcare. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for presenting. Next up, I believe we have Kaylin Nunez and Tomas Jimenez. So I'm going to hand it to you guys. Take it away.
Okay. I'm going to be screen sharing, and this is our Work Wonder project for generative AI. And our app is called the Wi-Fi Finder. And I'm Kaylin, and my partner is Tomas. So hello, my name is Kaylin, and I'm a rising senior at Downey High School. I enjoy photography a lot and subjects within the STEM field, mainly math. I really like math.
Hello, my name is Tomas Jimenez. I'm entering my senior year at Warren High School, and I enjoy watching and playing soccer.
So for our design process, I'm gonna go to the mural. We were given 4 potential solutions that were based off a Stanford project that Kwaku introduced us to. And it was expensive. There's one, it was expensive, game, cheap, and then robot. And our main issue was trying to find Wi-Fi or how to get Wi-Fi access in an area where none is available. And initially we had made a solution that was not AI based. And it was like a portable Wi-Fi that you could take anywhere with you. And Kwaku pointed out to us that it was not, it didn't have anything to do with AI. So we kind of changed it. And we thought of a AI app that directs more people towards a place that has free Wi-Fi. And this is basically this is mainly based off the fact for people who like work at home and they're going out of home at a time and they need Wi-Fi. So you would use an app for something like that. And we have like our initial coding here, which was just a basic one that we kind of worked with. And it showed someone, so I put in like the Los Angeles area because that's where I live. And I had it direct me to somewhere that I could find free Wi-Fi. And this would be something that you did before you actually went to the place, so that way you would know where to go in order to get free Wi-Fi. And so I'm going to go back to the slides and it'll show, this is the next slide, which Tomas will talk about.
All right, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the AI app Wi-Fi Finder. All right, so you press start, and then it's going to ask you to get started. You'll say yes. So you'll put the city you're going to be traveling to, and what time you're going to be there, around what time, so you can see what stores or coffee shops are available at that time. So once you put that, it gives you a list of stores and stuff where it gives you free Wi-Fi so that you can use it.
And it also includes like the hours of operations of the places, so you know what time they open and close.
Yeah.
And so that's the app. And also because it's directed towards people who work at home or anybody else who mainly is at home and they need Wi-Fi on the way out. At one point, if you if we were to work on it more, I actually had this idea yesterday, we'll work onto it more. Eventually we could have it where you could like insert your schedule and then it could tell you without even having to put in the information that you can go to this place at this time and there'll be free Wi-Fi. So that's an idea as well. And that's it.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you both, Kaylin and Tomas, for this idea. And the irony of all this, first of all, this entire deep dive piece takes place over Zoom. And so Wi-Fi is a crucial part of this. And this came out of something that I was lucky enough to work on with June during the pandemic. And since then, Wi-Fi has become such a crucial part of all of our lives. So I love that you're thinking in these terms. Great job, both of you. All right, so next up, in the middle section here, there were some students that chose to work on their own, and there are some students, due to travel constraints and things that are happening with their team, that have to present on their own. So this next student who is presenting is Jamie, and I'm really hoping I say this correctly, Jamie Zavela, who has a great partner who she worked on this project with, but unfortunately her partner was not able to join us today because of travel constraints. They're currently out of the country. So Jamie is going to be presenting on her own. I'm very excited about their idea, and I'm fully confident in Jamie's ability to share this with all of us. So Jamie, I'm going to hand it over to you. If at any point you need any help, please let me know. I am here.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Hi, my name is Jamie Zavala. I also did this project with my partner Ashley, but like Kwaku was saying, unfortunately she couldn't connect to the Zoom today. But the app we decided to create was a heart patch. We don't have any photos of ourselves, but a little bit about myself is I'm an upcoming senior and we're in high school. We're both Generative AI apprentice. Both me and Ashley have always been interested in technology since we were like younger, and that's why we decided to try this deep dive, because being able to learn more about technology and just be able to create an app, which sounds really cool. Oh, Ashley's also an upcoming senior at Downey High School. Like I said before, our AI product is a heart patch. We create a heart patch for individuals who need extra support when overcoming breakups. Instead of bottling up your feelings to yourself or waiting to talk to a friend or a therapist, we decided to create Heart Patch to be your trusted companion through the emotional journey of a breakup, and we programmed it to help you every step of the way. And our app offers a range of tools and resources to help regain your confidence and embrace a brighter future. And some of the key features include a guided healing journey, daily inspiration, community support, and practical tips. Just a little bit about the motivation and interest that both me and Ashley had was that we decided to create Heart Patch is because we believe people deserve a support in their time of need. And sometimes since we're scared to share our feelings with people at first, we thought it was better to create Heart Patch with an AI chat box that gives you solutions to your problems and utilizes, provides solutions to your problems and offers companionship while also checking up on your mood and gives you activities or suggests different ways to deal with your problems. To speak more about the key features about it, we decided to include a guided healing journey, which technically accesses a personalized guidance and exercise crafted by breakup recovery experts to navigate through grief, anger, and acceptance. So based on if you tend to use Heart Patch a lot, it tends to collect your data. And let's say your breakup was based off of anger, it will give you solutions how to deal with your anger, ways to meditate, guidance. So it's not going to give you just a personal guidance journey on all of the topics, just based on what you are working on. And then daily inspiration, you receive daily motivational quotes and affirmation and insights to lift your spirits and encourage positive thinking and a positive mindset. So it's going to give you words of affirmation, motivational quotes, because sometimes we just need to hear some nice words, some good and positive words to give us a positive mindset, to not let us just have negative thoughts, but also just think positively. We also have community support, so you connect with supportive community of individuals going through similar experiences. You got to share your story, offer advice, and find comfort in knowing you're not alone. Like I was saying before, since you get to tell the app your personal experience to your breakup, it could also suggest you websites, articles, apps where you get to connect with other people who have gone through similar situations as you. So you're not feeling alone, or you feel like you can't tell someone else because they haven't gone through the same situation as you. So that way you just have someone to talk to. And then some practical tips. You get to explore practical tips and strategies for self-care, mindfulness, and rebuilding your life after breakup. So technically, it just gives you ways to meditate, things to do to better yourself and your mental health after your breakup. And then some of the accomplishments, since we did program HeartPatch to be your personal aid, we used Mural. There's the 4 potential solutions is the way we organized our Mural in order to create HeartPatch. So we first thought of a social solution. So we thought of going to therapists or support groups that don't ignore the talker about a breakup, which is how we came up with the community support feature. And then we try to find an internet solution, which we thought of chat with an AI bot in order to release and see the flaws in the relationship you couldn't see before. And then we thought of a video solution, which is guiding them towards watching motivational therapeutic content that addresses their emotional chat of breakup. And like I said before, it includes motivational talks, documentaries, interviews, guided meditation. And then we thought of a solution that could be short term, so something we could think of to do tomorrow. And we thought of spending quality time, engaging in other stuff, hanging out with friends, which is how we come up with the features I talked about previously. And then just some of the takeaways we had about creating the app is being able to provide and access support, guidance, and community that the app helps individuals navigate through complex emotion and challenges of breakup more efficiently. And then it underscores the importance of empathy-driven technology and addresses real-life emotional needs, fostering a sense of connection and empowerment in users as they heal and move forward in their lives. Additionally, developing an app can highlight the value of integrating psychology and technology to promote mental health and personal growth in digital spaces. So I will be showing you guys the heart patch that we used and created on PlayLab. So it's asking if you're ready to get started. You would answer yes. First, it would acknowledge how you're feeling right now. So let's say I were to say I was sad. It suggests ways to bring you comfort and joy. It says think of a favorite song, like to walk outside. I would say I like walking outside. And then it suggests a way to heal properly. It asks you if you're ready to let go. You would answer yes. So like I was saying before, it suggests motivational quotes, words of affirmation, and meditating on good and stable aspects of our lives. And the more you answer, the more it gets into the key features. And that's sort of it.
I think that's more than sort of it. Jamie, you did an excellent job. And I love the focus on mental health. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm getting the notice that we need to sort of make sure that we get to everybody within the time that we have allotted. So I'm going to move really quickly and say that our next person is Adrian, I believe it's Paleo. So Adrian, you are up, sir.
Alrighty. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yep.
Alrighty. So what I'm going to be presenting today is the AI that I created. I named it Easy Eye, and my name's Adrian. I'm a student at Downey High School. I'm turning into a senior. I'm super interested in AI because I'm pretty much think it's like the whole future, and I think understanding it is going to give me like an advantage in the society that we're advancing to. And this is the design process. Here we go. So the original question was, how can we use AI to improve personalized learning experiences for students? Because my idea was to create an AI tutor that's just the most personal and most like kind of like your friend, sort of, and it'll teach you in such a way that it's like entertaining and it'll stay in your brain. And these were the four potential solutions. There was a quick, intricate, cheap, and expensive solution. And I decided to combine all four, just the best qualities. And I came with a final solution. And it was to make an app. It does cost money, but it's really, really, really good. And then these were the what, how, whys. And in a video that we watched, we learned that people want our products not because what it is, but because why we make it. And I thought that was really fascinating. And that drove me to just like keep on advancing this AI. And this is kind of what it is. Let me show you. So it starts with the introduction, respond, say hi. And it's always going to ask you to respond in a teach me and then so on and so forth format. And let's do like teach me aerodynamics, something random. And it's so personal and so personalized that it'll ask you, how do you want to learn? How much time do you want to spend? What way do you learn best, with quizzes or interactive activities? And then it'll ask like random stuff like, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite band? Just like something completely random just to get to know you better. And then it'll teach you based off that interest. So then we could say, I learn best on hands-on activities and not much time. And then quizzes. And my favorite movie is Princess and the Frog. And it'll teach you all about aerodynamics in such a way that it's fun to learn. Like aerodynamics is the study of how gases interact with moving bodies. It's crucial to the design of anything that moves through the air, such as airplanes, and characters, anime movies like Princess and the Frog. And it'll give examples that use your interest too. And then it'll always check up on you and any questions that you want, anything like that. And the workflow, it started off with like a very, very tiny amount of stuff. But then I just kept on like finding things to add. And just the whole premise of it is to be a friend and just teach you and for you to have fun. And then let's see. Are any questions?
So, Adrian, I know people have questions, and unfortunately, with the amount of time that we have within this digital space, we can't do questions. I am going to give you a special shout out because Adrian started off working with a partner and had to transition to working by himself and did a lot of work in a short period of time. So I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge that. The next group of students that we have presenting came in wanting to present on their own and wanting to do something outside of PlayLab, which is the software that a lot of the students have used to create their AI bots. And so the next one that we will be hearing from will be Colin, and I believe it's Wally, but please correct me if I'm getting your last name wrong, Colin. So Adrian, I'm going to ask you to stop sharing your screen. Thank you for your presentation. And Colin, once that's done, you can start to share your screen.
All right, thank you so much, Kwaku. Yeah, my last name is pronounced Wally. It's perfect. So here we go. My name is Colin Wally, and my project, I titled it Random Restaurant Chooser. So a little bit about me. It's me on the right there, all dressed up for prom. I'm a rising senior, and I originally signed up for this deep dive because I'm really interested in software engineering as a career. I've been learning to code now for about 3 years, and I've mainly focused on game development. But when my mom mentioned this internship to me, the only thing that really caught my eye was the one about generative AI. I wanted to expand into other areas of computer science besides game development, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity to do so because I could be creative and get paid. So, that's plenty of incentive for a broke high school. My design process, I knew I wanted to create, I knew I wanted to use my coding background to create something that was a little more challenging than just maybe designing a chatbot. Because I knew I could challenge myself and do something a little more. So, so my mural. Um, so I was in the car talking with my dad, right? And I was telling him about how I needed to have an idea. I needed to do something for my project, and I was kind of stuck on what to do. And he gave me this idea that just kind of set up a light bulb, and I was like, oh my God, this will help people, and I can do this with my skills. So the question we settled on was, how do you promote better mental and physical health? And my app does this through reducing decision fatigue, which could indirectly promote better mental and physical health. It prevents mental exhaustion, which is constant decision making that depletes cognitive resources, leading to mental fatigue. So, my product is a random restaurant chooser, which I'll show you in a second. And I wanted to take you through a little bit of struggles first. So, I originally tried using PlayLab, but they didn't allow me to use an API, which an API is basically a gateway from one service in their servers, so you can use it on your website, right? So I couldn't use PlayLab on my website that I wanted to create. So I decided to go to this company called Chatbase. For Chatbase, you pay $20 and they let you use an API. And it's perfect. So for my project, I had to learn how to use HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, which was my first time using all of these. And so I think I did pretty good for my project. So let me take you there now. So it's called Random Restaurant Chooser, using AI to ease your indecisive mind. So the first thing that it's going to ask you is to input your location. So I think I'm not going to use my own address. I'm going to just put in Universal Studios Hollywood, right? It asks you how long in minutes you'd like your food to arrive. I'm going to say 20 minutes. It's going to ask you about any allergies you have. I'm going to say milk because that sets your stomach. And let's just say shellfish, right? It's going to ask you about any foods that you definitely don't want. So let's say snails, salmon, and pizza. I do like pizza. I do like salmon. Never try snails, but for sake of this, it's going to ask you for your budget as well. And my budget, let's say, is $40. So you click submit form, and here, great choice. I recommended trying out Veggie Grill, located near Universal Studios Hollywood. They offer a variety of plant-based options that do not contain the ingredients you mentioned. Enjoy your meal. So it uses AI that I created on Chatbase. I programmatically embedded this into my website that I also created through code. And it spits out a response in a random restaurant based on information that you input. So what I learned, right? I learned 3 new programming languages, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. I learned how to use APIs, which are essential in web development jobs anywhere. Let me get 50% real quick. Sorry. And I learned how to put an idea to paper and design it efficiently, which I wasn't really used to doing. I was used to just kind of having a project and not really worrying about the why behind it. But I learned that through this internship. And I also learned that there's a market for this. People actually want to use this because, imagine you're with your spouse or your partner or your sibling, whatever, and you're in the car, thinking, asking them, what do you want to eat? And they just reply, I don't know. And that's so common that I feel like this could help a lot of people out. Thank you for listening.
Calvin, thank you for making this. This is amazing how you use your tech skills to sort of solve a mental health challenge. I think that's amazing. And you might have saved my marriage by not having to answer or ask this question of my wife. So moving forward, next up is, sorry, I want to make sure I pronounce everyone's names correctly, Trinity Ball. Oh, I see that Calvin's been highlighted, but actually Trinity is next. And then after Trinity will be Calvin. Thank you, Colin. Trinity, feel free to share your screen whenever you're ready.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to present the deep dive that I made for obviously this Zoom. And a quick introduction is that my name is Trinity Ball. I'm a student of Downey High School and I'm going into being a senior. I'm 16 years old and I've had an interest in art for as long as I can remember. And I've been into technology a lot more recently. And both of those things are actually why I joined. I wanted to see how AI could be used to further these or assist in both of these things. So my design process came down to all of my ideas, my code, and my solution, as well as my golden circle, which everyone has been using. So all of my ideas needed to be narrowed down, and I can't go over all of them now, but they were basically supposed to help end loneliness in hospice care patients, which is like end of the life care. And I can't go over all of them because of time, and I want to make sure to stay in there. But a limitation I had was just to include the uses of a tablet so that people who can't stand or are too weak to really get around can still chat. So my final solution ended up being a chat app that would use AI to connect people based on their bios with the help of something called BERT. And that just really picks and chooses like which people would think it would get along. And the why is just, I feel like we can always be improving on people's care, especially in hospitals. The how, like I said, was through BERT and also through Python, which is a coding language. And then the what was the chat app that I mentioned. So my app is on the left there. It would already be downloaded, so I do have an app for it. And this is a concept UI, which is a user interface, and it's basically everything that you see on the screen. So I'll just give a short demo then. So as we can see, it's pretty basic. So then we can just put in your name and whatever bio you'd like. So I like art and technology. And then you can add patient, obviously. So you can view all of the patients that are here, as well as chat with someone specific that you want. You can match the patients, which it will go through and find the best match for each person, as well as create a chat room for them. And if you go into admin, you can actually see all the chat rooms between everybody. So, and then just to show this, it will create a chat room between yourself and that person. So I just feel like this could help a lot of people who just feel lonely in hospitals, and it would be restricted to within that hospital as well. I don't think we have enough time for questions, actually, if I'm right.
We don't have enough time for questions. I just want to amend one thing that you said when you talked about your interface being basic. I think you meant to say basically awesome, and it is basically awesome. I love that you're thinking of this need and how inclusive your design was. Trinity, thank you so much for sharing. This is fantastic.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. And by the way, I called Colin Calvin by accident. So I wanted to correct that. Now we will hear from Calvin. Calvin, feel free to take it away.
All right. Let me share my screen here. All right. So my name is Calvin Lawrenson, and this is Fluent Feud. So I'm currently an incoming senior at Da Vinci Charter Academy. I'm working on facial recognition attendance for schools. I applied for this apprenticeship to learn how to build AI products from scratch and also to work on some of my workplace skills. So let me go over the design process and my problem. So basically, I just finished my third year of Spanish in school, and honestly, I didn't really learn much. And I think the main problem was that too much of the class time was spent learning grammar and vocabulary, when a lot of class time should be used to practice speaking with your classmates. So I came up with 4 possible solutions to address that exact problem. The first one was a little virtual world where you use the language you're learning to try to talk with, well, just like navigate the world. Second one was a pretty simple reading comprehension thing where it gave short stories you need to answer questions. Third one was something that would, while you're browsing the web and reading things, it would translate parts of the page into the language so you can read those. And the last one, which is the one I settled on, is you choose a topic and you argue with an AI on it. So here it is. You basically put in the topic, then this is Indonesian here. This means like red is bright, and it will respond, and it'll basically argue against the topic you've chosen as much as possible. And then there's one button on the left here that will review what you wrote and give you feedback on it. And yeah, so it'll give like minor suggestions. And also there's a button over here which will decide who won the argument. So I lost because I don't think I argued very well. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Calvin, you may not have argued very well, but I love the idea, and I also learned something new about you every day, like the fact that you speak Indonesian, or at least know a phrase in Indonesian. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to ask you to stop sharing your screen. Next up, oh, also, nice tie. Next up will be Eileen, and charisma with a KH instead of a CH. I want to make sure that I stress that. Ladies, feel free to share your screen and to share your presentation.
Hi. Okay. Can you guys see that all right?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Eileen Obregon and I'm working with Charisma Navarro. Our project name is Eco Guardians. So first of all, sorry, I don't know why it's, okay. So my name is Eileen. I'm an upcoming senior at Downey High School. Something about me is that I love to take on challenges and I value an optimistic mindset. I joined the AI deep dive to learn the behind the scenes process of how AI is used. And it was really interesting to go into this deep dive because I knew absolutely nothing about AI. So I thought that it would be something cool to learn, especially since it's our future and we'll be seeing a lot more of it.
My name is Charisma Navarro, and I also am an upcoming senior at Downey High School. I love to learn new things, which is why I joined AI to learn a lot more about it.
So here's our design process. We use Mural in order to come up with it. Just a minute while the screen loads. Sorry about that. Okay. So first of all, we started with an open-ended question, and that was, how can unsustainable communities be helped? So we came up with 4 constraints. One was an expensive solution, something that can be done in a month, something technological, and kid adaptable changes. So the reason we chose expensive was because with the more funds you have, well, the bigger change a community can have because, you can just create change with things that you buy. Another thing that we did was what can be done in a month. I think a month is a reasonable time frame to create change as a community and start making good habits together in order to see the difference in a month. Something technological, we chose it because we thought it would be a fun idea to add something even unrealistic, such as having tiny robots clean the city or things like that. And then lastly, we chose kid adaptable changes because we think that kids are the future. And if you teach a kid how to, take care of their community from a young age, it becomes something that it lives in their unconsciousness, just like we learn how to brush our teeth from a young age and we do it every day since there. So if we were to have stuck with this one, then that would be something else. But it would also be really important to teach kids the importance of cleanliness in their community from a young age at school, at home, and things like that. So our final solution that we ended up having was an app that would be used to create tasks and monitor the cleanliness of communities. Um, at first, we wanted to create a full functioning app that in which people were able to connect with people from their community online, such as like kind of an Instagram or Snapchat, and but also include like things like playing games and earning rewards and monetary prizes. And it would essentially create like tasks that a community member can do, such as cleaning the outside of the streets or picking up trash around their community, things like that. But then we realized that, of course, we don't have like that much capacity yet. Like we still don't know how to code and things like that. So then we just stuck to what we had and we used PlayLab. So with using PlayLab, we have to obviously eliminate a couple of the ideas, such as earning rewards and connecting with online friends. And then we had to work on our workflow. So essentially what we did with the Play Lab was we made it be like a chatbot that can give a person ideas to what they can do to create change within their unsustainable community. So at first, what we did was we programmed the AI, the Play Lab, to say, okay, well, here's a list of fields that you can choose, such as recycling or picking up trash, things like that. And then it would just kind of like give the person a word vomit and say like, okay, here's a list of things that you can do, pick one. So then we realized with the help of our deep dive leader that, that was kind of just a very constrained list or set of things that you can do. So we said, okay, we have to come up with something that is more direct to the community member. And so we programmed it to like ask the person what is conflicting you within your community or what are you worried about? Because obviously different communities have different problems. So that's what we did. And then we can show it to you guys in the demo.
So
And
we click the, sorry.
Sorry, I'll be passing it to
Click the hyperlink. It takes you to our app and then we press start. And it's gonna welcome you by asking if you're ready to get started and you would type yes. And then like Eileen was saying, it's gonna ask you an open-ended question, asking like, where do you think your community could most be improved? So for example, we can type littering. So then it's gonna give you a task, but it's not gonna be a very like boring, like straightforward task. It's gonna put like a twist to it so it can be fun. So it replied, treasure hunt cleanup, gather a few friends, and turn litter collection into a game. But let's say we don't like that idea, we can type, I don't like this idea. And it'll give you another task within your concern. So it's gonna say, you can commit to picking up just one piece of litter every day when you're out and about. It's quick and easy and no need to organize anything. We can also give another example like graffiti. And it'll reply with another task you can do within whatever your concern is.
So basically, with this AI app, we realized that it can give a person some tips that they can do because obviously we all want to create change into the place that we're living because we don't want to live, in a like dirty place or anything. So I feel like it's really hard to start creating good habits for ourselves. So if we create good habits with things like this that can like start giving us ideas and things, because sometimes we really don't have like any way of like saying, okay, how do I start? How can I like create change? Just by seeing one change with a person, I think that everybody else can pick up with it too, can pick onto it too. So yeah, that's basically our whole concept of the AI app. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aileen, not Eileen, but Aileen and Charisma with a cage. I love how you guys are thinking locally, but also thinking globally as far as your impact. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Because we have a limited amount of time left, but not that I want to rush these last two groups. Next up will be Justin and Christopher. So I'm going to hand this to you guys. You can share your screen and share your presentation when you are ready.
Okay. Okay. Christopher, would you like to introduce it?
Yeah. So hello, our app is called Silver Connect, which we derive from the term silver linings, which is a hopeful or comforting prospect in the midst of difficulty. And I'm Christopher, and my partner is Justin Chemazaros. Yeah. So for who we are, again, I'm Christopher Medina. I'm a student at Downey High School, and like Adrian, I believe AI is going to play a bigger role in our future. So I wanted why not learn about it now rather than later?
And again, I'm Justin Chimnaceros. I graduated from Clark Magnet High School this year, so I'm going to be a college freshman in a few months. And I signed up to this deep dive because it can sort of tie in with my major in cognitive science and neuroscience, just, you know, thinking human brains, robot brains, similar thing, whatever. And also it's just a really rapidly developing field. And there's so much still to discover and so much to be developed on. It's just really fascinating to learn about.
So before we came up with our open-ended question, we wanted to know which group we were trying to solve a problem for. And so the one we landed on was the elderly. And so on these four boxes right here, you can see different solutions within different constraints, which are social, video-based, text-based, and something we could do tomorrow, like going to a nursing home and just speaking to elderly there. And so from this, you can tell our main focus was to solve loneliness within elderly people and trying to like help ease that. So for our final solution, we wanted to create an app that helps connect elderly people, and it includes an AI chatbot that'll try to talk to them and just check in with them regularly. And so on to Justin to demo our app.
Okay, so here's our application. So it says, welcome to Silver. Are you ready to get started? I'll say yes. And he says, great, I'm here to chat. Let me know if you need to leave. How is your day going? So I'm going to act as maybe an elderly person who's living in a nursing home, perhaps. So my day has been okay. Very boring. So it's going to ask me how my family's doing now. I'm going to say, maybe my grandchildren are doing well. They visit me sometimes. And so then it'll respond with like, grandkids really brighten up your day and energy and stories. What kind of activities do you enjoy doing with them visit? Let's say like, we play catch sometimes. So and then it'll respond again, and then it'll ask you another question. So basically how this goes is this bot will continuously try to make conversation with you and interact with you and just keep the conversation going and going and going and going until, let's say, I say, I need to leave now. And so the purpose of this bot is just to give like elderly people who might be lonely, like in their nursing homes or wherever they're living, just something to interact with and to talk to hopefully ease that a little bit. And here you can see the workflow behind this. So I want to be an expert in some pop culture because maybe you can relate to something that these people have lived through and bring back maybe more fond memories. And then I wanted the bot to be 75 years old because maybe more enjoyable to talk to someone that's a similar age, something like that. Conversation socialized, talking to an elderly person, and then it just asks about the day, asks about the family, and then keeps the conversation going like forever. And back to the presentation. Uh-oh. Whoops. Okay. And that was all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, especially for designing an app that is my age that I can use, when my kids leave the house and don't want to talk to me anymore. I'm joking. Really, really, really thoughtful. Really, really, really thoughtful. And so we've reached our conclusion. We have our last group that will be presenting, and this will be Sean and Bianca. So I'm going to hand it off to you guys. Feel free to share your screens and your presentation when you are ready.
Hi, can you see my screen?
We can see, yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I'm Bianca Ureño and I work with Sean on MedBot, which is basically an AI chatbot to help make Medicare more stress-free and less confusing for seniors using it. So this is basically a map that guides through our presentation and its components, where we will be answering common questions about Medicare, educating about seniors' options, explaining how MedBot was created, and how and where it can be utilized.
Hi, my name is Sean. I'm a student at Warren High School. I want to become a programmer, and that's why I chose this deep dive. Work Wonder has really impacted me by pushing me to my limits so that I can try stuff that is new.
Hi, I'm Bianca, and I attend Downey High School. And Work Wonder has impacted me by helping me learn many important skills that are necessary to professionally communicate with others in a work setting. And it has also taught me not to be afraid to share your ideas.
We decided to create an AI to help seniors with their healthcare insurance because of how complicated the current system is.
Sorry about that. I didn't know how to turn it. Okay. So we use Fred as an example. He is a newly retired senior looking for a Medicare plan to cover his basic needs. To meet these needs, he's going to need Medicare. He will need parts A, B, and D. And if he wants additional benefits, such as, let's say, dental or optometrist, he may want to choose a part C. So as you can see, healthcare is pretty confusing and at times can be overwhelming for seniors due to many components and necessities one must keep track of, which is why there are healthcare brokers to help.
We partnered with a local health insurance broker agency to assist seniors further. As we said before, healthcare insurance is too troublesome for most seniors. While Jenkins Health Insurance focuses on personalized help with so many questions, they're being swamped. So we want to use AI and technology to assist in answering questions and filling forms and booking appointments to make the process more efficient.
So our main goal basically was to make an AI chatbot that specializes in answering Medicare questions and helping seniors in making their options easier. It also serves as an alternative to wasting valuable time scouring the internet for specific answers.
We created this bot by using ChatGPT and other tools and the Medicare information from our client to create a healthcare bot. We worked together in Mural to show our design process with links to our app, including what our goal is, why it was in our reach, and how we were able to accomplish the final project. At first, we mapped out a couple of problems and possible solutions. We decided to pick aiding elders in medicine with AI. The main apps and websites used in the process were ChatGPT and PlayLab. The board details how we developed the idea and refined it. We included a link to our post on GitHub, which is basically a public library for people to make projects. We used GitHub to host it so that it would be accessible to all.
So as a demo, let's test it. Let's say I'm a senior confused about my Medicare plan and I'm wondering how to contact agents. I can also ask whether I'm covered and which plan I should be looking at if I want to lower my prescription drug costs. And as you can see, the AI chatbot is responding specifically to my questions with helpful information about who I can contact, as where to do so based on the information and date and data pulled directly from the website and insurance agency.
In summary, AI will allow brokers to be more efficient with their time, improve patient engagement and satisfaction, and be able to provide 24/7 support for their clients.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing this, and we are finishing right on time. And I do want to highlight that this last team not only built an AI bot, but actually found a customer to utilize what they've built within their website. I would definitely talk more. All the apprentices know that I talk way too much. I do want to say thank you publicly to all of them for bringing their time, their energy, their interests, and their passion to this, because some of these apprentices, they didn't mention it, but some of them ended up in the deep dive and actually flourish as a result of it. Some opted in and some ended up in here, and it'd be hard to tell the difference. So on behalf of all the apprentices, and I'm going to say the wonderful people at Work Wonder, we thank all of you who've tuned in to see this amazing work. And ideally, you will see these apprentices in the future designing and crafting more convenient and equitable futures for all of us.
Thank
Barb?
you so much. Yeah, thank
Yes?
you so much, Kwaku. And yes, you would never think that any of you were even remotely uninterested in this. That was fantastic. How impressive, so thoughtful, each and every one of you. Really admirable. Thank you for this. It was a joy to get to watch the showcase. We actually have another showcase coming up at 3 p.m. So if anybody is around and still watching on YouTube, stay tuned because we have our final virtual showcase, Product Service Innovation, beginning at 3 p.m. And then you guys stay on just one